Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Everybody. Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopijana Ballabha Girivara Dhari. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe with your heart, Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Jai Jai Jai. Bolo Radhe 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 Jai 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 Sri Radhe. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते, गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्ते। पंचतत्मात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं, भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। I am very honored and delighted and humbled to be in your presence today to share or to begin the festivities of Radhastami, which is coming up this Wednesday. I want to offer my heartfelt respects to all of my senior Vaishnavas who are sitting here. Many of them are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and new guests and residents of New Ramanreti Dham. The topic for today, you ready for this? The topic for today is Hare Krishna, a divine love story. How many of you love listening to some love stories? If you have watched any Hollywood or Bollywood romantic comedies, they are love stories. If you go around the world, there are love stories that are so popular. You go to the Middle East, you will hear the story of Layla and Majnu. There are so many love stories. But our Acharya has explained that there is one love story that is very different from every other love story we will ever hear. And that love story is a divine love story, a transcendental love story. It is the love story of someone who was called Hare and someone who was called Ram. Okay, now it might sound very intriguing, but I'll explain it. You know, like any love story, there must be a villain. You know, love stories have villains. Some villains don't want the couple to come together. And then others who do want the couple to come together, isn't it? Yeah. In any love story. And so it is with the love story of Hare Krishna. And I'll explain why. Once upon a time, the earth, this planet, was overburdened by kings and rulers who had built up armies that were willing to commit violence at the slightest provocation. Are we living in a world like that today? And they sacrificed lives, wealth, just for the sake of fulfilling their own egos. You know, in a war, usually poor people go to fight, rich people just finance them. Taxpayers pay taxes, and somebody else is making the weapons. It is very unfair. And so it was at a period in India where there were 16 Mahajanapadas. Can I hear the word from you once? Mahajanapada. Janapada means a city. Mahajanapada means a great city. There were 16 great cities, capitals of 16 kingdoms in the area known as Bharata Varsha, only a portion of which is today's India. In these 16 Mahajanapadas, there were kingdoms like the Kuru kingdom, the Panchala kingdom, the Gandhara kingdom, and so on and so forth. 16 kingdoms like that. The most powerful kingdom in that was the Kuru kingdom. And the capital of the Kuru kingdom was known as Hastinapura. Can I hear it once from you? Hastinapura. Thank you. You know what Hastin means? Okay, here's the Sanskrit trick. Hasta means a hand. Hasta means a hand. The animal who uses their nose as their hand is a Hastin. Because elephants use their trunks as their hands, therefore they are known as Hastin. Their hand is on their mouth. And it is a city of elephants. So this kingdom had gathered hundreds and thousands of elephants. You know why? Which ancient cities do you think brought elephants in to do huge amount of construction? We don't hear of too many, but we do see big constructions. Like, if you look, there are temples in Southeast Asia. There are temples like Konark and Puri. Right? You have to carry those big blocks of stone, and you need elephants for that, and you need elephants for war. So the Kuru kingdom had all these elephants. They became the most powerful. And to the right of the Kuru kingdom was a kingdom known as Gandhara. And to the left of the Kuru kingdom was a kingdom known as Panchala. So what are the three kingdoms? Kuru, Gandhara, and Panchala. The king of the Kuru kingdom was known as Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra. You know what Dhritarashtra means? Dhrita means forcefully hold on, and Rashtra means kingdom. One who forcefully held on to a kingdom is known as Dhrita. He had a son known as Duryodhana. Yodhana means war. Duryodhana means one who cannot be defeated in war. So Duryodhana is somebody who cannot be defeated in war. And these people wanted to become the most powerful kingdom on earth, and the way you became powerful was to marry the most important princesses of your neighboring kingdom so you don't fight with them. So what the king of Kuru kingdom did is he married the princess of Gandhara known as Gandhari. Now Gandhar is the same city as today's Kandahar. Have you heard of Kandahar in Afghanistan? That's where Gandhari came from. And so Dhritarashtra was married to Gandhari, but Dhritarashtra was blind. And Gandhari never wanted to overstep her husband, and therefore she tied her eyes up for the rest of her life. Now Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra's son, was a very entitled character. He somehow felt that because I am the prince, I deserve everything and I will get it at the snap of my fingers. Is that a good attitude? No. See, even children know that. There was one more thing that Dhritarashtra and his brother-in-law Shakuni and his sons Duryodhan and Dushashan were willing to do. They were willing to compromise 4 basic timeless values. These 4 basic timeless values in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, chapter 16, is explained as the 4 pillars of dharma. These 4 pillars of dharma is satya, honesty, truthfulness, integrity; saucha, cleanliness, purity, hygiene; tapa, endurance, austerity, enterprise, resilience; and daya, which is compassion, kindness, and empathy. These 4 are the pillars of dharma. If you protect these pillars of dharma, dharma will protect you. This is the verdict of the Shastras: dharma rakshati rakshita. When dharma is protected, it protects. But the emperor Dhritarashtra was blind physically towards his son and towards the rest of the management of the empire. And therefore, a whole bunch of corrupt kings formed a network of alliances across India, down to the village level. And at the village level in Mathura was a king known as Kamsa. He was the king of one of the smaller kingdoms called Bhoja. And Kamsa's sister was Devaki, who is Krishna's mother. So on the day that Devaki and Vasudev, Krishna's biological father, got married, Kamsa was taking his sister to her father-in-law's place. But on the way, he heard some unembodied or disembodied voice. Now, whether it's schizophrenia or not, I don't know. But Narada Muni came and told him that you are doing all these things, the 8th child of this couple is going to come and destroy your life and take your kingdom. And he was so cruel, immediately he arrested his sister, wanted to cut her off. Chop her up on her wedding day. And Vasudev, his brother-in-law, said, don't do this. Your revenge is against the 8th child who's still 8 years away. You're afraid of me and my wife, you can put us in jail. Right? And in jail, 7 children were born, and the 8th child was Sri Krishna, and he was born on the day of Janmashtami, which we just celebrated. Soon after Sri Krishna was born, in a village next to Vrindavan called Barsana, was born Srimati Radharani to Vrishabhanu and Kirtida Sundari. Now, Krishna was hidden from Kamsa and other corrupt kings because his life was under threat from the moment that he was born. And as he was growing up, he was growing up as a normal child in Vrindavan, but he stood out. He stood out not only because he was Krishna, he was dark, different from everybody else, but he was Krishna, he was also very attractive. And you know why he was attractive? Everybody would talk about him. He did things nobody would imagine any human could do. First, he would steal butter. And then when he got caught, somebody would come to Mother Yashoda and said, your child is stealing. I'll tell you, he's getting very corrupt. And Mother Yashoda said, he stole butter at your house? He said, yes, but Krishna is here. So she went in and thought, oh, let me go back and check. And she saw that her child was stealing butter, not Krishna. So Krishna was playing tricks with his friends and his villagers, and everybody began to love him and think about him all the time. And soon Krishna became expert in music, singing, and dancing. Film stars become very attractive. If you have Angelina Jolie walking around Alachua, do you think people will come to my pravachan or go to see Angelina Jolie? There you go. Film actors have a certain attraction. So Krishna was a theater actor also. And so he had his fan club, especially the girls. Loved him. They were after him. Except one day they found out that, no matter how much they wanted him, he wanted one very special girl. Nobody knew who she was. Do you know who she was? Yes. Only she knew Krishna's heart without letting him utter even a single word. She knew exactly what he was looking for. She knew exactly where he was going. Krishna was a buccaneering chap. And Radha just knew it. And Radharani had some friends. She had a girl gang of 9 people, Lalita, Vishakha and others. And together sometimes they would harass Krishna, just for fun. You want to hear how they used to harass Krishna? So Krishna, had a pretty strong demand as a youth in Braj. And there was one girl who was very, very pretty, and she knew that she could conquer everybody with her beauty, and she thought she could conquer Krishna with her beauty too. And she would do all kinds of political stuff to get Krishna to her. And one day, Sri Krishna was supposed to meet Sri Radha and her friends, and we are going to celebrate that festival on Tuesday evening, when we swing Radha and Krishna on the throne. And Krishna was late for his date. And Radha and her friends were very upset. So they began to question Krishna, where were you? Krishna says, no, I was just, I had some work. And then Lalita and Vishakha, who were Radha's best friends, used to corner him and ask him, so, I have heard that when you decorate that other Gopika's forehead in a nice way, you see the decoration on the forehead? You are so neat and clean, but when you try to decorate Radha, it's so clumsy. Why are you so clumsy? And the other one would say, just because he is nervous. So Krishna got very nervous when he was in front of Radha. And it is said that Sri Krishna can conquer everybody, but there is only one person who can conquer Sri Krishna. That is Srimati Radharani. Srila Shukadev Goswami explains in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna, in the Kartik evening of Rasa, somehow disappeared from within their midst. And as they began to search Krishna, they noticed that Krishna has disappeared somewhere. They followed his foottracks, and they noticed that there were 2 sets of footprints. So that means they figured, okay, Krishna was walking with somebody special. After some time, the footprints became one, and then they concluded Krishna must have started carrying her. There is only one footprint. But Shukadev Goswami leaves a riddle for us. He never names Sri Radharani Srimad Bhagavatam. He just says, Anayaraditanunnyam Bhagavan Haririshwara. That there is one special worshipper. Anayaradhita, Aradhita. Nobody pursues Krishna, worships Krishna like that, and thereby she steals Krishna's heart. And therefore she is somebody who can harana or steal Krishna's heart, and therefore Krishna calls her Hare. Hare means somebody who has stolen my heart. And before Sri Krishna appeared on planet Earth, long time before that, there was Lord Ramachandra. And the word Rama means one in whom yogis delight. Yoginau ramante yasmin saramaha. Right? But the word Rama also means romantic. Ramana. And so Krishna is so romantic, the Radharani calls her Ram. So our acharyas explain that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that we sing and chant and worship and cherish every day will change meaning depending on the condition of your heart. If you are in Shantarasa, that means, okay, God is there, I am here, everything is fine. I have my job, I have my house, I have my mortgage and insurance. And, just for some peace of mind, I will chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Okay, no problem. You are chanting in Shantarasa. Right? It's like you have a diamond, but you are using the diamond to scrape your toilet. When you start thinking that, okay, what is this mantra that I chant every day all the time? Why is this so special? Why is it Maha Mantra? You realize that this is the most potent set of syllables and words that describe the deepest form of transcendental love, which is the highest thing that one can ever attain on the spiritual path. And you realize how small we are and how great everything else is around us, and you start feeling like a dasa. So when you become a servant, after Shanta comes Dasya. When you become a servant, you start listening to the Mahamantra, hearing the Mahamantra. Ramchandra, Rama means Ramachandra. Krishna means Krishna, and Hare means Vishnu. And you chant the mantra like Hanuman chanted the name of Lord Ram as a servant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So if in your heart you feel that that your role as a servant is the most overwhelming and overpowering, that is how we should chant the holy name, as a servant. But if you feel that you are Krishna's friend, then that same Ram, Hare Ram becomes Balaram. And Hari is Hari. So Mother Yashoda would sometimes call Sri Krishna and Balaram, Krishna, Ram, you're getting late for lunch, come now. Bala holo damodara aisho ekhono bhogomandire boshi koroho bojono. Right? Bhoga Arati we sing, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, come now. And Ram goes to Yashoda and says, Krishna is eating dirt. Right? But they are both Hari because they steal our heart. So if you are in Sakya Rasa, in the Rasa of friendship, in brotherhood, then you think of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as Hari is Hari, one who steals the heart, Krishna and Ram. If you are in Vatsalya Rasa, Vatsa means calf or a child. So if you have the mood of protection, parent or a child, and you're protective towards Krishna, like Srila Prabhupada was. In Bombay one time they tried demolishing the Juhu temple, and Prabhupada said, I will protect you, Krishna, I will build you a temple. I'm like your daddy. Prabhupada had that mood sometimes. So when you are in Vatsalya Rasa, so, you chant, Ram again is Balaram, and Krishna is Krishna. You chant the Mahamantra as a servant of those in Vatsalya Rasa like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. But if you are in Madhura Rasa, which is Mahaprabhu's gift to the whole world, Jaya Jaya Rasajjalo Sarva Rasasar, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Parokiya Bhave Jaha Brojete Prachar, that highest pinnacle of love. Then Hare means Srimati Radha. That's what the name Sri Krishna has for her. Ram is the name Krishna has. Ram is the name Sri Radha has for Krishna. And the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the names of Radha and Krishna when they are in union and in separation. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You realize Hare Krishna, Krishna and Hare is together? And Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Ram, Krishna and Hare is separate. So in the Mahamantra, you have the two highest forms of love, which is Sambhoga and Vipralambha. Union and separation in one mantra. That is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is Krishna's intimate pastimes in Braja with Radharani. Until he is 11, he is having a good time. Then one day he hears the news, and we are getting back to the story of the 16 kingdoms. He hears the news that his uncle has created a circus, but he has put murderers in that circus to get rid of Krishna. If he doesn't go to the circus, he's going to get killed. If he goes to the circus, he's going to get killed, and he must go to Mathura. And he has no option. He goes to Mathura, Akrura takes him. It's a very cruel heartbreak for everybody in Braj. And in Mathura, Sri Krishna began to show his colors, and you can read the Krishna book for details, and Sri Krishna kills Kamsa. And then hell breaks loose. Hell breaks loose. Because the next most powerful king that was friends with Krishna's uncle who got killed, trying to kill Krishna, was known as Jarasandha. And Jarasandha attacked Mathura 17 times after Krishna started living there. Just trying to kill Krishna. So 17 years of his life, every year, we have Bhadra campaign, we have Janmashtami, we have Radhastami. Krishna had to prepare his army just to fight. And tell me, if Jarasandha ever found out who Krishna really loves, the village of Sri Krishna that he cherishes in his heart, would he leave them alone? So Krishna cannot go back to Vrindavan. He is fighting these corrupt kings one after another for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. There is another king in India whose name Krishna says is Narakasura, the demon from hell. He had captured 16,000 ladies and sold them into brothels. And he was trying to kidnap more. And Sri Krishna stopped that and killed him in a battle. And these ladies came to Krishna and said, "What have you done? We have nowhere to go. We are now at the hands of corrupt criminals." And Sri Krishna said, "No, you are not. I shall protect you. Why don't you go home?" And he said, "Who will take us home? We have no status in society. We are pieces of meat for people who are in Tamaguna." And Krishna said, "No, you're not prostitutes, you are my queens." So Krishna had 8 principal queens, but he married the other 16,100 that were kidnapped by Narakasura. That is how Sri Krishna had 16,108 wives. And he built each of them a palace in his city Dwarka, and he gave personalized attention to everybody. And Srila Prabhupada said that if you can do that, if you can lift Govardhan, then try to imitate Krishna. Otherwise, keep quiet and listen to Krishna. Right. In this way, Sri Krishna kept fighting one corrupt king, corrupt demon after another, till he received a letter from a distant cousin aunt called Kunti, saying that my husband has died, I have 5 children, we are running around and somebody is trying to kill us. Krishna, please save me. And so Krishna immediately rushed to their rescue. And he became friends with the Pandavas. And he became the protector of Kunti. Long story short, Sri Krishna's life, if you see, is more austere than any of us or all of us combined together. More austere than all of us are our lives combined together. And in the middle of all of this, as Sri Krishna was fighting corrupt kings after another, there is one thing he couldn't forget. What do you think that is? Who do you think that is? Who couldn't Krishna forget? Srimati Radha. And Krishna couldn't forget Vrindavan. You know what Vrinda is? You see the Tulasi plant there on the altar. These are little plants, these are descendants of the original forest in which Sri Krishna used to meet Sri Radha. And their intimate pastimes that nobody else had seen, only Brinda Devi had seen. Therefore, Brinda Devi or Tulasi is so special to us, and we sing every morning, Tulasi Krishna, Namo Namo. So Krishna, Tulasi, the lover of Sri Krishna, I bow down to you again and again. Broje Radha Krishna, So my only desire is to get the service of Radha and Krishna in Braj like you. Je tomaro sharon laye purno hai. So we worship Tulasi because only she has seen the love story of Hare Krishna. Krishna blessed her. And therefore we wear Tulasi, we chant on Tulasi, we worship Tulasi. You see why? And so Krishna missed Vrindavan, Krishna missed Radha, but here he is, a big king with 16,108 wives, royal army. He has nowhere to go. His life is, people are always trying to attack him. And he realized that no matter how much you tried with these most powerful kings of the Kuru dynasty, they will keep compromising the principles of Satya, Saucha, Tapa and Daya. And Sri Krishna said, if your values are at stake, you must fight for it. And that is the battlefield of Kurukshetra in the Mahabharata. And when Arjuna said, Krishna, I cannot fight, Krishna says, this is not about you, my friend. This is about dharma. And I have come, I manifest myself time and again whenever there is a decline of dharma and a rise of adharma. And therefore, Arjuna, you must fight. It's not for you, it's for dharma. And Arjuna said, Karishya vachanam tava, I shall do as you say. But as Krishna was counseling Arjuna, talking to Arjuna, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Krishna makes one grammatical mistake in the Bhagavad Gita. You know the word Brahman, a Brahm in Sanskrit means reality. Sarva kalu idam Brahman, the Vedas say. Everything is Brahman. Bhagavad Gita says when you're doing yajna, the fire is Brahman, the ladle is Brahman, the ghee is Brahman, right? The sacrifice is Brahman, and you, by doing that yajna, you experience Brahma Karma Samadhi. Right? So Brahman is a neutral word. Sri Krishna used Brahmini, which is feminine. Brahman is never used in feminine. But Sri Krishna in the middle of the battlefield makes a slight grammatical mistake, uses Brahmani, and our acharyas point out that even in the biggest battle of his life, in the middle of Kurukshetra, where his own army is on the enemy lines with their arrows pointed at him, Sri Krishna is thinking about his Hare. Right? And there is one more thing that happens, and I'll finish with this, and then I'll open up for any questions and feedback. So Krishna and Hare, they practically in their Bhauma Leela, on their pastimes on planet Earth, they don't get to see each other much. They're constantly hearing from Uddhava, Krishna is doing this, Krishna is doing that. And it's a bit like New Raman Reti, we're always Krishna conscious. But Uddhava, who is Krishna's closest cousin, decides that, it is time. And so one day when there was a solar eclipse, people in those days used to go and take bath in a holy river. So Uddhava told the Brijvasis that Krishna is coming to Kurukshetra to take bath in a river on a solar eclipse day. I think you should come to see him because, after all, he is your Krishna. And he went and told Krishna that you, Balaram, Subhadra, your brother, sister, we should go to Kurukshetra, take a bath in that holy river on that solar eclipse day. Except Uddhava didn't necessarily tell each other that they were both coming. So, if Krishna has a surprised face, it is the face of Lord Jagannath. When they come to Kurukshetra, they have this sacred surprise meeting. Sri Krishna is like, he doesn't know what to say anymore. His arms are outstretched. He wants to embrace the Brijvasis and his arms are really outstretched for that one. And the Brijvasis are in tears. They are seeing Krishna after so long. And you know what Sri Radharani says, and this is from a book by one of Mahaprabhu's associates known as Kanai Kuntiya, called Mahabha Prakash. Radharani says, who is this man? My Krishna is a village boy. He wears peacock feathers and he wears a garland made of forest flowers. He is a simple boy. He tries to woo me on the bank of the river. I don't know who this king is. I can't recognize him. Radharani knows very well. But she says, I can't recognize this king. Sorry. And so Sri Krishna takes away everything. No. Don't go. And the Brijvasis are so touched by the Punarmilan, the reunion of Hare and Krishna, that they unyoke the horses from their chariots and say, Krishna, you're not going back to Dwarka, you're coming with us. And so they start pulling Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra back to Vrindavan. That is the celebration we know as Ratha Yatra. And when we are pulling that rope, who are we serving? We are helping Sri Radharani bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this is the divine love story of Hare and Krishna. It is their sacred names that is the most worshipable object in our lives. There is no mantra in the universe that encompasses love in all its purity and gentleness like the 16 words Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And therefore, whenever we want to become connected as servants of that absolute transcendental love, all we need to do is chant. If you want to serve Radha, we chant Hari Hari. Can I hear you chant it once? Hari Hari. And if you want to please Sri Krishna, you chant Hare Hare. Can I hear it one more time? Hare. A little bit louder. Hare. Okay, now we are ready to welcome Srimati Radharani this week. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. We have 5 minutes for questions, answers, and please pass on the microphone.
Thank you so much for giving us so much to meditate on, leading up the Sri Radharani's appearance day, and giving us more in depth about what the mantra means. And I was just wondering, I had asked about her origin story to a devotee before, and I know you said she was born into a royal family, but my understanding was that it was like an immaculate conception and she showed up on a lotus flower. Can you tell us about her origin?
Those are very high topics you have to discuss with, say, senior devotees like Pran Govinda Prabhu and others. I am just a servant. If you ask about how to become a servant, I can tell you something. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you for very, what's the word? Very full, very compact, and rich presentation.
Your grace. Hare Krishna.
I wish I could remember it all. The only question I have is when you mention that Krishna, nobody could conquer Krishna, but I believe it's one of the book from Askras where he says, Jita Jito Vyasi Traishti Lokyam, that Shruti Gatam Kanmano here, that you can stay in the same position, Stitastito, Shruti Gatam Kanu Vanmano here, they try to show that you can, Krishna can be conquered by what sounds like a simple process of just devoting oneself to hearing Krishna Katha, hearing topics of Krishna.
That is true.
And one could even stay in his social or professional positions, So I just wanted to tweak that a little bit.
Thank you so much. Thanks for. As you were saying this, I just had one quick realization that the first verse of the Bhagavatam says, Sadhya Ridhi Avarudhyate. That means Krishna is immediately captured in the heart. Shushrubhi, just by anyone who is desirous to hearing about him. But there is a difference between capturing Krishna and conquering Krishna. Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna up and she was always 2 fingers short. And then she surrendered to Krishna with love and Krishna got conquered. But Srimati Radharani doesn't have to make attempts. Krishna is naturally melting in front of her. But you are correct. You are correct that there are ways to capture Krishna, but you want to say something more?
Is it true? A long time ago I heard that someone was saying that Krishna said that Radharani is my dancing instructor.
Mm-hmm. There are leelas like that also. One time Sri Krishna was dressed up as a peacock and was dancing with peacock moves just to impress her because she was angry at him. And this temple in is near Barsana called Man Mandir. And there is a picture of Sri Krishna dressed as a peacock, looking like a peacock, which was painted by one blind devotee, right? And the pastime there is Sri Krishna was, Radha was angry with Krishna. She had man. And Sri Krishna, picked up feathers from everywhere, put a little thing behind him and dressed up in a peacock dress and trying to pretend to be a peacock just to get her to smile. Right? So, those kind of pastimes are also there. Mataji had a question, but last point and then, yes.
Thank you so much for your class. It was very interesting. I have a question regarding the 16,100 queens. I don't know where is your reference to say that
Srimad
they were
Bhagavatam.
sold to brothels?
Yeah, in Narakasura, if you look at the commentaries there are 10 commentaries in the Krishna Shankar Shastri edition that Srila Prabhupada used to compile his Srimad Bhagavatam. So the text and the commentaries say that these ladies were kidnapped.
Yes.
And they became courtesans. They were used as courtesans. It's very clearly written.
So they were used as prostitutes, you mean?
Prostitute is a bad English word. Courtesan is a much more sophisticated word. Courtesans. But against their will. And Sri Krishna married them.
I never ever heard this.
We can talk. I can give you all the references you need.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Thank you.
reference.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a couple of more questions here and we are out of time. So if you're feeling hungry, please feel free to get prasad. And I can continue after this. Yes.
Thank you very much for your wonderful classes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful. I want to follow up her question. Since Krishna married all these ladies, did he have children with all these ladies?
Yes. And one time Narada was confused how he could manifest himself. And Krishna proved to Narada that he was there personally with each and every one of them.
So is that meaning since he has children with all these ladies, so in this material world there's line of Krishna's children?
No, the Yadu Vamsa got destroyed at the end of if you look, the Yadu dynasty was destroyed. So no direct descendants, but there are Yadavas still around. There are many people in India whose last name is Yadav. They are lineage of Yadu dynasty. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. My question was about how you mentioned the different relationships that one can have with Krishna, progressively more intense. And am I remembering correctly that I read somewhere, maybe Nectar of Devotion, that the conjugal rasa actually includes all the others?
That is true.
Sometimes those moods are also there.
That is true. One who is in conjugal rasa can also sometimes act in a protective way, in a friendly way, and as a servant. There are Kaviraj Goswami explains, just as there are layers of elements that create this world, 5 layers, these rasas also have layers, right? This foundational rasa and the highest rasa. So the highest rasa is inclusive of everything. Just as space includes earth, water, air, and fire, similarly, Shringara rasa includes all other rasas. So Srimati Radharani is able to serve Krishna as a friend, in a consultative, as a senior. So she has that power over Sri Krishna. Okay? Hare Krishna.